Okay, hello everyone, welcome back. So I've been playing around with this just a little bit to get it set up, get familiar with how this BenQ light bar actually works. And essentially you've got this really nice controller down here, very nice to use. You can just kind of swivel things around, feels very nice in the hand, very slick, very smooth. It's got a good weight to it as well, which I really like. It feels very premium, and if you just tap on one of the kind of the touch sensitive buttons here, you can then access all the controls, change the lighting kind of temperature, brightness, and so on and so forth. So right now we're doing the brightness. You can see it's getting brighter around me right now. And of course, if you go over to the temperature settings, I can now change the temperature of the light. You can see it's getting bluer right now as well. So blue and all the way over to a really nice orangey kind of color, warmer temperature as well. So pretty cool. And the other feature I like about this is that if I just go back here and tap this button, I can shift the light to go to the rear of the screen essentially. So now it's actually just on the front. Now it's just on the back. And now I can have both. So depending what type of ambience you're trying to do, you can have the best of all worlds. And this kind of background reflective onto the wall is actually really nice, quite peaceful and calming for maybe when you're about to go to bed, but got a bit more ambient light. Right now I've got my main light off, so typically I have this light on, but you can see if I don't want to have that big light on, this gives me enough ambient light to still kind of enjoy the workspace that I'm working on. So again, if I bring this to the front, if I want to kind of actually see things and have my eyes lit with some actual light, and it's not directly in my eyes. So if I go underneath here, you can see it'll be LEDs right there. But of course, as I come back, they are not interfering in my eyes or anything like this. And if I come and look right at the screen, I don't see any glare. The screen looks really well lit. Keyboard is looking lovely. Actually, I need to clean my keyboard. But yeah, everything's very easy to see and visible. And my eyes do feel, less harsh of a reaction to when I have this beast on, which is like the power of 1,000 suns. So this is actually a very nice compromise, and I can play around with this. So I'm going to go ahead and just play a video here so you can kind of see the quality of the screen versus the light in different settings. I'm going to go ahead and move through some of the different settings we've got here. So the first, I'm going to do the temperature. So let's go ahead and start changing that. So now going into the blue spectrum, you can see how the room is becoming whiter and bluer. And we're now at the full end of that. And then going back into the warmer lights, I can now change that as well. And we're now pretty much over there into the warmer light settings, as you can see. So let's go ahead and do just the front and do the same thing with that. So back to the color temperature. And now we're going to go back to the colder settings. You can see it got more like a daylight kind of feel. It really does make a difference, actually. I feel like I could work like this very comfortably. And again, going back to the warm, I now kind of feel like I've got a sunset, a permanent sunset, which is quite nice and relaxing. I need to play with this over the next month and see what's good for me. It's also got this automatic button, which is quite interesting as well. So I can press this automatic, and it's just going to figure out what is best for my room at the current conditions. And it decides that this kind of daylight is most acceptable at this point in time, which I kind of agree. If I'm going to be working on the computer for a long period of time, you want something that kind of mimics daylight, and it seems to be doing that pretty nicely. So yeah, really enjoying it so far. I like that you can adjust the front, back, or both at the same time. Got the automatic settings to kind of just balance things for the moment. You can control the temperature, the brightness. I need to figure out what this heart is. I'll go look into that in just a second. It might be a favorite setting or something. It goes to this warm mode for now, but I think that might be customizable. I'll check back in on that in a little bit. But again, yeah, this is a really nice device. I like it's got this wireless controller. Obviously, it picks up the fingerprints, but that's easy to solve with a quick wipe of your glasses cover or something like this. It would be nice and shiny again. And you can position that anywhere, so just off to the side here in my computer, and it allows me to control the lights how I wish. I'm going to put it back on automatic, so you can kind of get a feel for the automatic setting again. And, there we go. I can now do my work quite nicely and have just the space that needs to be illuminated well. So I'm going to play with the different settings over next month and get back to you in a month with my full review. But for now, I'm pretty impressed. I was very skeptical if it's going to really change my kind of day-to-day usage, but I think if you're kind of like me, kind of a typical computer hacker living in a dark room like this with your RGB everywhere else, this can really give you the lighting you need in your eyes to keep that darkness in the rest of the room, but still be illuminated enough to be productive when coding and other things. So again, I'll test this over the next month or so and make sure I give you a full review later on. But first impressions, very positive. Thank you very much.